which back in the time that we were mining around here, which was around the 1600s onwards, was a very, very valuable commodity in the UK. Because at that point in time, not only was the British Empire constantly expanding and we needed lead for the ammunition, but we used it for much more mundane uses back at home. We would use it in things such as makeup and plaster it all over our faces to get a nice little shine. We'd add it to bread, because brown bread was for peasants, and this lead made it nice and bleached. We even added it to our red wine to make it sweeter. That's 400 odd years now we've been killing ourselves with artificial sweetness. And when we came down here, the miners wouldn't have actually, they would have been down here getting all this lead out for about 8 hours a day. And it wouldn't have just been the adults down here. It would have been a full family affair, this whole mining thing. So, just to raise of hands for the children, who's over the age of 6? We're here. So what we'd have done, we'd have given you a little pickaxe, put some leather trousers on you, and sent you down that road first. Once you got the lead out, they grab you by your ankles, haul you on out with the lead. How does that sound compared to school? And it wasn't just the dads and the kids down here. If a woman was strong enough, she'd be down here mining as well. And if she didn't really fancy being down in the mine, she'd be up on the top. They'd be operating the winch. And they'd be hauling the buckets of lead up all day, every day. And when it got to the top, they'd be the ones that had to prepare it to get sent off. Because they'd get paid more if the lead was nice and pretty and shiny than if it came out looking like it's just been pulled out of the ground. Now, as we go through the name, and in the last chamber, right at the end, I pointed out the scratch marks to you all, didn't I? And if we look up, can we see any up here? Correct. That's because where we are now, this is a naturally occurring cavern. This chamber was originally a fault line, and then as the Ice Ages progressed, they slowly widened it out into the chamber we're now in, approximately 200 feet below the surface and 150 feet long. And the reason that we know this was hollowed out in the last Ice Age is, do you see these strange patterns in the ceiling that look a bit like an inverted shell? Well, this is something that's known as erosion, and this particular form of erosion is known as scalloping. I'm fairly certain you can take a guess as to how it got the same name as a seafood. And when the Ice Age ended, and it all the water is left away, this whole chamber was full to the brim with sediment, which was rich in minerals, including this lead that everyone was looking for. And one day, a chap called Mr. Tinker, well, he found some lead on the surface above where we are now, and he started tunneling down looking for the rest of it. Now, before I continue with this story, we're going to turn the lights down, and we'll give everyone a chance to see just how dark it was for the miners. We have Mick Jagger's lips. And this is something known as a geode. So when the rock was formed, as it shifted it will have cracked. And into that crack rushed mineral-rich waters, and over the millennia since, these minerals crystallised and created this. Now, what you can see in here, you see all this white blocky stuff in here? Well, this is something that's known as calcite. And this is something that we actually still use today in our day-to-day lives. So when you drive along at night time and your headlights hit the road markings and they sparkle, this rock has been ground up and added to the paint. It's also used as a bulking agent for pharmaceuticals. So when you're taking a paracetamol, you're technically eating rocks. And if you see there's a few shinier bits hidden in amongst this, well, this is some quartz. I'm sure we're all familiar with what quartz is. Quartz, we use it for stuff like watch faces. It's like glass but less brittle. And if we bring our attention down a bit, behind this group over here, you see these orangey bits in the rock? Well, these are something known as fluorspar. Now, fluorspar, that was the most recent thing mined around here. That was mined as recently as the 1970s. And that is used in pretty much anything that is spelled F-L-U-O-R, such as fluorescent light, known as the antechamber. So called because it's the opposite of the great chamber. Instead of being huge and sprawling, it's a little bit cramped, as you may have noticed. And in here we've got 3 things to cover for you. To begin with, my personal favourite, especially because people have already commented, this bit here. We like to tell you it's runoff from the gents' toilets, but it's actually water trickling down. And as we've gone through the course of our talk, has anyone seen any stalagmites or stalactites? No. Correct, we haven't. That's because throughout the course of this tour, it's been quite a dry cave, even though where we are now is natural conditions for these sort of things. The reason for this is there's a very thick layer of clay between the surface and here. So generally speaking, any water that falls gets caught in the clay layer. There's also a volcanic layer of rock, but it'll then get caught on and it goes down the hill. However, for places like this, the miners themselves actually hollowed this out. They had to be able to get water down here somehow. So we'd have had this here, and a bucket on the top, water drips into the bucket and might have been the drinking water. Also had an unintended side effect, but it started coming to fruition a few hundred years after we left, which is this rock that you're stroking. Don't worry, that's actually part of the tour. Anyone that wants to touch it, feel free. It's very smooth, it's like marble. Not this bit, these shiny bits. Now this is actually the exact same thing as a stalagmite or a stalactite, except for this is called flowstone. It grows outwards from a wall at roughly 1 centimetre every century. And the thing is about this, the miners, they didn't know about this. They didn't know what it was called, they just saw this funny looking rock appearing. Especially because back then it was this colour. The reason it's so dark down here is it absorbs the oil from our hands every time someone touches it. So miners, they went off this colour scheme and made their own name for it. They called it miners' sneeze. Or, if they're feeling particularly vulgar, snot rock. How does a snot rock feel? And speaking of the miners, I'd just like to draw your attention to behind you all, this little thing on the wall. Now, can anyone guess what this might be up here? Any ideas? This is known as a miner's plaque. This would have been how the miners would have laid their claim to this particular part of the mines. And these initials, these are the chaps that work down here. So we'll begin with the date, 1705. That would have been when they first started working in this chamber. And back then, this would have been the floor. This would have been all we'd had to deal with. And since then, we've slowly trundled down. And we'll start with the names on the outside. E.W., T.W., Ezra and Thomas Whitworth. Twin brothers from not too far from here. And they ran this place. They ran this place as the supervisors, so they were very much make sure everyone's meeting their quotas, actually doing their job properly. And those who did all the work down here are these four names within. Beginning with IF and MF, Isaiah and Mordecai Fern. The names alone give away how long ago this is. And these two more brothers. These two were from a little village called Bonksville, about 2 miles in that direction. And they were the actual miners. They'd have been down here, chipping away at the rock, 8 hours a day, pulling the lead out. Now, what do we reckon was the life expectancy of these miners? Yeah, between 30 and 40 we reckon? Well, Isaiah and Mordecai, they retired in their 70s. And the first to pass away was Isaiah at the age of 95. And Mordecai, just to prove his brother couldn't beat him at anything, he lived to 103. Now their gravestones are actually still in Bonksville Graveyard if you're interested in fact checking me. But these two chaps, the reason they live so long, lead itself, not that dangerous when you're mining it. The dangers of lead come out when you're the person that's washing it, when you're handling it, when you're ingesting it. Keeping it at arm's length with a pickaxe, having some other person come and grab the lead and take it to a bucket, you're actually probably one of the best positions here. So they had a very active lifestyle, out of the rain, not being exposed to a great deal of the poison that all their fellows were. And on the subject of things that have been gone for quite a while now, I'd like to go even further back in time, to up here. Now can we see all these strange patterns in the roof? Yeah. Any ideas what these could be? Any ideas? Well, these are fossils. These are from back when the rock was first created 300 million years ago. And these are sea creatures that slowly got compressed down into the rock itself. So these are brachiopods and cephalopods. And if we look over here, you see this orange stuff, looks a bit like a beehive. Well, this is actually some fossilised coral. And these were all left behind approximately 300 million years ago. And this would have been near the equator originally. For those of us who have already been on the tour down at the bottom in the tavern, you may have already been told this. This rock started at the equator, and over approximately 160 million years, as the plates shifted and cracked, this rock slowly traversed its way up here. And as it did so, it created all the cracks. That's how all the natural caverns occurred. The same for how all these fossils that were from the bottom of the ocean found its way to a hill that's nearly 1,000 feet above sea level. And that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid, brings us to the end of our tour. You've only got one last task for you. We've got 80 stairs to freedom and an